Good morning all. Thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on the Land Rover. I'm actually in the middle of, I've just completed an oil change. So new oil has gone in down there. We've just started filling it up with some Castrol Edge. I'm not using the OEM stuff because it's no different. And the strangest thing just occurred. In fact, the most bizarre thing I think I've ever come across with this car. Now, I've actually found bottles of beer down here. In fact, right down under there, I found a bottle of Corona. Was in there for maybe about 8 months, rattling away down there. I thought the car had a strange rattle. It turned out when I was doing a service on it, I dropped a beer down inside there. It slipped down, and it sat down there for a while until I did the next service and discovered it, which was entertaining. So I drank that, carried on. But by far the strangest thing just occurred. So, you know, my engine cover's here. Here's the engine cover, and you can see, you know, it sits down and surrounds the engine quite thoroughly. But here's the strangest thing. So I'm over on this side of the car. I make a note of all my services here. Okay? Most of them anyway. So it hasn't been to the dealership in a long time. And I'm stood here, letting the oil go down into the filler. And I noticed something which is unusual. Bear in mind, I've had all of this engine out. All of the covers here, the air plenum, this side and that side, the engine plug covers, you know, the rubbery plug covers on these, on this engine. These things, and the top cover of the engine fits over these to provide some protection. Well, it hasn't provided a lot of protection because of all the crap, but it nevertheless covers over this, so there's an overlap. So all of this was out, all of the covers were out, everything was out to do the plugs because it was a pain in the arse. There's a video on that online. So I'm stood over here, letting the engine oil go down to the engine, and I spot something. And it's a case of, what the fuck is that? Excuse my French. This is supposed to be a kid-friendly channel. So anyway, I reach over, and strangely enough, there's a freaking wing mirror under my engine. It's a good one because it contains the radar for the you know, overtake warning sensors. I should say the blind spot monitoring sensors. So this was sitting right there. Like that. Now, I've had all of this off. All of this off. All of this covering off. All of these vacuum pipes out. And even the fuel line disconnected. When I changed the water pump on this, all of this system was out down here. Again, the crossover pipe, you know, which is kind of down there. All of this was out. Everything was out. That has not been there. I would have noticed it right away. I don't know where that came from. Like I said, there's my old list there. It hasn't been to the dealership in over a year, at least a year, more, maybe a year and a half. The last time it went into a garage was to get new tyres, which was about 80,000 miles ago. And I'm due for new ones, because mine are starting to get a little bit worn out here. But this is a mystery. I don't know where this came from. I don't know how it got in there. I just don't know. This is a complete mystery. All of this was dismantled and taken apart. If it was sitting there right on top of the intake manifold, if it was sitting here on top of the intake manifold with all of these other things I've done, I would have spotted this a mile away. It couldn't just sit there when I took all of this apart anyway. Where this has come from, I'm filming this on my phone, by the way. Where this has come from, I don't know. Can anybody identify this from the part number? Somebody's missing a wing mirror here. How, I don't know. Once I discovered this, I actually went underneath the car to check to see if there was anything else. Maybe I ran over a Prius. I didn't know it. So I had a look in the rear. Just to see if there's any other things I'm missing. But, you know, my last video actually was posted online when I went over the red tow hook under here. But nothing. I thought, miraculously, I sort of run over a Prius on the middle of the trail. Is the rest of the car underneath and I don't know about it? But that is bizarre. Let me focus on that. Any ideas, any suggestions would be welcome. Knowing this hasn't been in a dealer and there's no way it could sit there like that. Like that. There is absolutely no way it could sit there and me not spot that. Considering I took all of this apart. And you can see the video online for that. Part 1 and part 2 of the spark plug change. And if you do watch the video and you spot this, please let me know in the comments. Because this is really peculiar. Over and out.